Hi all, this is Solo. In this video, just going to go over a few tips you probably didn't know about Aniimo, and if you are getting into the game, is the perfect place to start, or if you are going to watching this when the game's actually released, it's still going to be valid as well. This is in this map. When you open the map up in game, you zoom all the way out. You can actually see there's like a sun symbol over the regions. You can actually change the weather, and you can see there's one region there that's raining, and the rest of them are sunny. And there's actually, if you upgrade this tree that you're looking at now and get 65 points in this tree, you can actually change the weather for certain regions. And why is that important? That's important because certain regions only unlock certain Aniimos, certain weather conditions, snow, rain, and thunderstorms. You can only unlock certain Aniimos in certain weather conditions. So once you get them 65 of them, you can actually hit that change weather button, and you can change a weather. You change the weather for a certain region. Do that, you basically go across the world exploring. When you explore, you find the collectibles, and these are like little collectibles you have to do, like missions for, side quests for, or you can just go out throughout the world and do like different things around the world to collect them. And it's just super cool. And yeah, it's one thing to learn, or one thing you know on Aniimo is you can actually change the weather. Right, let's crack on to the next one. And the second one is level cap. So you have levels in this game. You go up to the level cap, then you go and do a like promotion, and you get promoted, and then it increases your level cap again. You also have different skills in this game. You have your user, like your own person mobility skills. Mobility skills and attack skills are one and the same, but you can chop and choose. So you have stuff like gravity pull, which will be a mobility skill, which you can go along the world, pick up boulders and stuff. This is for like side quests and like little mini missions around the map, in the open world. And you can chop and choose from there. You also have a skill tree. In the skill tree, when you level up, you get these sort of points you can then put into your passive skill tree. This passive skill tree then unlocks stuff like active skills like hoverboards, or you can use like defense command or mega mallet. These things will be like command you issue to your Amiimos when you sort of fight, if you're not actually the Aniimo itself. And you can get like passives like increased damage to like bosses, like call friends. If there's any sort of Aniimos that are near you, you use this button when you are actually fused with your Aniimo and you're actually using them. You can actually get the wild Aniimos that come and help you fight, which is really cool. But also, there are multiple different things you can unlock different evolutions for Aniimos, for example, in the skill tree, which you can't unlock unless you actually put the points into them. There's also stuff like passive boosts, and there's also stuff like increases damage and stuff like that. Damage, healing, regen, defense, magic defense, and you can also get, like I said, active skills. They can actually help fight with your Aniimo against the enemy Aniimos or the wild Aniimos. And in this game, there are multiple different things you can also use, like Master Trainer and Pro Catcher. These will basically upgrade your capture devices called Anipods in this game. And Anipods are basically like Pokeballs, and you get different types of Anipods, and you can actually get like an Ultra Anipod, which is basically a Master Ball equivalent, which has 100% catch rate. You can catch any Aniimo you want without even having to fight it. And they're actually quite generous with them as well, and you can buy them in-game shop with in-game currency. Because there is no gacha in this game, everything in the closed beta access is earned in-game, and the different types of currency in-game you then convert in the shops to buy different things like cosmetics for your Aniimos or yourself, or like Anipods, which you can buy different rarity Anipods to increase that chance of you capturing that Aniimo you really want. And as you get the levels and skills as you go along, you actually upgrade your Anipods, upgrade all your other passive skills and stuff, which makes it a lot easier for you to travel about in the world, like aeroboard, basically a hoverboard in the world you can use to get about with, and it's really cool. And like I said, you've got the when you unlock them in your equip section. You can have up to 3 equipped once you level up enough in your attack and your mobility skills. Your Aniimos also have 3 different types of mobility skills. You can choose 3 different types of Aniimos, which have levels from 1 to 3, and these Aniimos have swim, climb, and glide. So level 1 is the lowest with the highest amount of stamina cost while using it. And you get Aniimos that have level 3, like climb, for example. It will use less stamina while you're climbing, and it will climb faster. So it's really handy to have these different skills to use, and all the different Aniimos can have them different skill sets. Right, so the next one is sanctions. So these are like little arenas, or little, sometimes you have time limits, sometimes you have to get to a certain place, sometimes they're like puzzles, sometimes they're like do it within a certain amount of time. But these sanctions pop out all over the map, and you basically do them, and they're like quick little sort of mini quests, I suppose you call them. And you got to get to do a certain thing in a certain amount of time, or like I said before, or just unlock a puzzle or something like that. But these things basically give you use an Aniimo, and you use that Aniimo special ability talent. For example, this Aniimo's good at smashing stuff, so you got to get there in a certain amount of time on this one especially. But when you do this and finish this in a certain amount of time, you actually unlock a certain like gold chest or rare chest. Like purple is rare, and gold is like ultra rare, and they give you unique items. For example, at the end of this one, you have a item that you can equip to your Aniimo, and basically it holds the item, and it gives you certain passive buffs. You can get extra regen, you can get extra attack, extra crit rate, and then you can buff that up as well, and that obviously stacks on to your Aniimo's actual passive abilities. So you see, I didn't get S rank, so I didn't get the gold one, but I did get A rank, and so I can get this, right? You get chests with loads of rewards, and then you also get rewards with actually just completing the actual dungeon itself, right? The sanctum itself. So when you do that, you go over to this here, press this button, and it will just finish. It will finish the sanctum, and you'll get the items for completing. You always get items for completing the sanctums anyway. Sometimes you can get extra bonuses if you do it in a certain amount of time, and yeah. So I got a really good item here. Actually, I actually got a super rare item, and which you get, it's sort of hit and miss on the items, but you normally get quite good items for doing the sanctums anyway, and you get passive side quests, bonuses, and stuff like that for doing it as well. And if we open it up, I'm just gonna have a look and see. And we also got this as a daily sign-in bonus, which is super rare as well, which is always handy. Make sure you do your dailies as well. They have like daily login bonuses and stuff like that. There's no gacha in this game though, just to let you guys know, there's no gacha. This is all like cosmetics, and you don't actually pay any real money. It's all in-game money, okay? You just grind it out and you get it for absolutely free. So anyway, that's sort of the third tip. Let's do your sanctums, get your rewards, and make sure you do all that fun stuff, because it actually does help, and sometimes it can actually help you towards unlocking stuff. So yeah, it's always handy to do all the sanctions, do all the side content, and just have fun with the game, right? Right, the next one is there's an item you pick up in the game, which is a rare item, and this is called trade fruit or trait fruit. And so when you capture your Animos will have traits. Some will have rare traits, some won't have rare traits. With this fruit, you can get by buying in the shop with in-game currency. You can actually change it from rare to normal, depending on what trait you want. Some rare traits are worse than normals, and some normals are better than some normals are worse than rare, and some rare are worse than normals. Depends on how you want to build them. Depends on the stats of your Animos. Depends on what you're actually going for, because different Animos can actually change their skills. They can have more than one type of skill set. So if they're fire, they can get like a fire and rock, for example. You can use two different types of skills, fire and rock. And sometimes you want your passive to work with one type of skill and not the other, right? So when you use these fruits will change your passive skill or your passive traits, sorry. And sometimes they can work with your build, your set, your skills, and sometimes they don't. So you can actually swap and change between them. This is really handy because every single Animo in the game has a unique and, well, not a unique, a rare and a normal skill set, trait set. And these normal and rare trait sets can be customizable as long as you have the fruit. If you don't have the fruit, then you just keep capturing them at the area they spawn in until you find one that does have the trait that you want. But obviously, if you have something, an Aniimo that's already a elite, and you do not want to capture another Aniimo because it could not be elite, because there's common, rare, elite, and perfect, and basically they are the stats. If you get an elite Aniimo, it will have higher stats than a common Aniimo, even if it's the same type of Aniimo. So think of it as like you want perfect if you can possibly, but obviously that's the hardest to capture. Sometimes you have to capture 30 to 50 of the same type of Aniimo, and then go back to your base to then see if they're actually common or perfect or unique, or not unique, common, rare, elite, or perfect. It really depends on what you want. But like I said, if you want to change your trait skills, your passive trait skills, and you have a good rarity like a elite, you really don't want to go and capture and waste more time doing it. You can use this trait fruit to then use it and choose which you want. When choose and change and swap and change, as long as you have the trait fruit, right? So that's tip number 4 anyway. And if you didn't know this, then once you get into the game, like I said, this video will be valid for when the game comes out, because they are not going to change this. This is fundamental to the game. They're not going to change how this works. So most of these, or if not all of these tips, will be available to use on day 1 of the actual launch. I'm pretty certain of that anyway. So that's tip 4. And let's crack on to tip 5. This is going to be a nice quick one. So when you chuck your Anipods, which are basically like Pokeballs, but Anipods they call them in this game, if you do not hit the target when you're chucking your Anipod, you automatically get it back. You do not lose your Anipods or your Pokeball style, capture devices. They call them Anipods. You don't lose them. You automatically get them back, so you don't have to worry about ever losing your Pokeballs / Anipods ever again. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. If you liked this video, hit that like and hit the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Helps out the algorithm. Put a comment below and let me know what you like about Aniimo so far. And if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button, because there'll be loads more videos of Aniimo to come. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.